Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Korner Booth Podcast. We apologize for the slight technological delay this afternoon. We appreciate you stopping by. We have a loaded show for you guys today. We have not only the final installment of our NFL draft preview, before obviously our mock draft, which is next Monday. On top of that, we also have a UFL Week 2 preview. We have one of the best power hitters in baseball signing a large extension for 14 years, I believe, and much more. Like this says here, 17 days before the draft, so we're almost there. Joining me now is a proud Washington Washington Commanders, DC Defenders fan. They got to change up that acronym. There's too many Defenders, Commanders, Admirals, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host. Try to go live on Instagram here. Matt Rodazzo.
There we go. Yeah, listen, very happy.
Stop pressing the button.
Very happy Defenders fan. The Beer Snakes are 2-0 on the season thus far. We've got the Battlehawks next week. That'll be a fun little matchup. So we'll see how that goes.
It should be a good time there, brother.
Happy Defenders fan. I guess you could say happy Yankees fan. Just wished today, which was an interesting day today. The Yankees played in the snow.
That's right. It did snow a little bit down the.
It snowed in Detroit.
Oh, that's crazy.
But yeah, Goldie's flashing his defense. Goldie had a couple of hits today. He's doing. I would say he's doing well offensively, just considering the fact that he is of the older veteran age for a first baseman, and his better days are behind him. But he still has that really good defense.
I'm obviously you know how much I feel about Goldie. I am kind of still sad about it. Josh Naylor is pissing me off to no end because he just keeps striking out and grounding out, and he had that one double against the Cubs, and he hasn't done jack since, and I'm starting to get really angry with him. So this isn't like Geno Suarez where it's like, he just took him a while to get acclimated. It's like, no. This is, dude, you got a big set of shoes to fill, and you talk all this crap, and the Yankees fans. I'd hear from every damn Yankees fan from here to Texas about you, and I'm just like, dude, enough. Just get a hit. Like we lost 2 out of 3 of the damn Nationals. What the hell?
I mean, listen,
the Buns looked awful yesterday.
Naylor against us, especially in the playoffs, was always a thorn in our side. So when you get Naylor, I'm automatically what I'm thinking is, oh, great. If I got to play the Guardians, I almost said the other one. If I got to play the Guardians in the playoffs, I don't have to worry about him at least. So that's positive. But I mean, listen, it's a whole new environment. He's in a whole different time zone. I don't know. There's some things you probably got to get acclimated to as a player, different atmosphere and climate.
We're too good now. There's no more excuses. Like last year, okay, you know what? We had the magic of 2023. It was fun. It was a fun year, right? Okay. Last year we regressed a little bit. We didn't fix the bullpen. Guys were on contract issues. Starting rotation wasn't there. Now we've got the starters. Now we've got the relievers. Yeah, Marte's out, but we'll be okay. We'll tread water till he's back, hopefully by end of May, hopefully earlier. So,
what was his injury?
Hamstring again.
Okay.
His hamstrings are made of Swiss cheese. I swear. I feel horrible for the guy. It's his one Achilles heel. His game is perfect. The only thing that sucks is his hamstrings are not built well. So, I hope his Cattell is a speedy recovery. I'm so done with the, it's okay, we're only 5-5. It's like, we're supposed to be the Dodgers throwing aside. Thank you to the Phillies, by the way, for knocking them down a few pegs. But, yeah, it was a very frustrating weekend as a baseball fan. But as a Battlehawks fan, as the only team that actually covered their spread, yeah, I'm happy about that.
I don't know if you have it, but if you get the UFL app, you can set your favorite team so your app icon becomes your team's logo.
I believe I've done that. Also, I'm watching the replay of me dancing to the fact that the Battlehawks covered. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Nate, your Renegades just looked like slacker against Houston, man. Like, what happened?
I was going to say, is Nate picking a new team?
We won, okay? We won.
Fair.
No, we won in the most Giants way possible. Seriously, every team I like, we just don't score. We win. If we win by like
All right,
2
be
points, and
a
we.
just be a Birmingham Stallions fan.
No, I'm good. I'm not switching teams anymore. I'm staying with this Renegades thing. By the way, happy Monday to you both. Good to see you both as well.
You too, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, thank God I wasn't a Bahamas fan for another week. Otherwise, I would have rolled off a cliff. But you know, I that team is just so bad, and I don't know even why I chose them in the first place. But you know,
Their colors are cool, but the horrible execution for the uniforms.
yeah, the uniforms are just terrible. Renegades
They
aren't
look
that bad.
like that really rich high school who let their like son's kid design the uniforms.
Dude,
Yeah, but
Kellen Mond might not be the answer. I think they need to work
But
somebody else
you
in.
know who is? Matt Corral. Dude, homeboy was dealing. He was. The problem is, listen, the Panthers' defense is phenomenal, but dude, Corral was working the ball down the field. They actually look like a functional offense with him there. I was pretty impressed. Like, okay, I can work with this. This is nice. This is nice. But
got
like,
yourself a
Yeah, he did.
quarterback.
well, no.
I mean-
Kelsey found himself a quarterback. I've just been banging the drum for Matt Corral forever.
He had he did have those 2 interceptions. You know, you can't overlook that. But he had a great completion percentage, going 18 of 29. He had a score. He had 198 yards on the game. The run game wasn't bad either. They had 70 something yards rushing. But they did what they had to do. They got the game. They won the game 21-12. Panthers. They looked better last week, I should say. Perkins 12 of 23, not great. 132 yards, 1-1. Run game was there. Run game was great. They had 130 something 40 yards on the ground. They did great, but the passing game just wasn't there to get them that support. The defense gave up those 21 points, but yeah, Matt Corral might be the answer going forward. Alex Magoo is done.
Mr. Magoo is out.
But watching Corral,
I know you guys are. It's a little before our time, but look up Mr. Magoo if you really want to just get a laugh. Because I guess it's a really funny old style cartoon of a guy who's basically blind, and it's funnier now because of the fact that he was so bad in his, I guess, quarter and a half. I mean, game and a quarter start for the brains hurting. Birmingham Stallions, but I guess that's the best thing. We'll just keep with UFL review. So obviously we talked about it. Scoreboard goes as follows: my St. Louis Battlehawks crank out a 26 to, I think, 9 victory over the St. Louis Browns. My Score Center app is literally just a spinning wheel of death. Yep, there it is, 26-9. We have the Birmingham Stallions eke out a 7 field goal win over the Michigan Panthers. God, that game was awful. There was not a single touch. That was just all field goals. 21-12. We have the Memphis Showboats giving Matt's Commanders a rough one. 17-12. 17-12 Commanders. I mean, defenders make it.
Listen, I
can't talk today.
It's in the same location, same colors.
Right sport,
it's the similar, commander, defender. I get you. They're both red and white.
Irritating as hell out of a crappiest city in America. Anyway, yeah, you heard me, Washington D.C. Then the Battle of Texas, or at least the real teams that play in Texas. The Renegades and Roughnecks, 11-9 in a very baseball-esque score, and then finally, like I said before, my Battlehawks kicked the Brahmas head in 26-9. Jacob Saylor should win whatever our equivalent of the MVP is this year. Him and Manny Wilkins by themselves are just
Saylor's doing great.
Yeah. Here's, by the way, 3 out of the top 5 rushing leaders are. Oh, so no, all the rushing leaders are on me or Nate's teams. Number 1, Kalen Balaj at 148. Jacob Saylor at 144. Drevion Howard, our backup running back, at 128. Day Hunter, Nate's backup running back at 103, and my quarterback, Manny Wilkins. My apologies, Manny, at 101. That's the top 5 rushing leaders. Then it's Matz, Abrams, Smith at 92 yards.
Yeah, listen, Showboats made it closer than it should have been. That defense did its job. That offense for the defenders needs to figure some things out because if you're going to be Jordan Teamo and you're going to be going 12 of 26, that is under 50% completion. You got 152 yards and a touchdown, which is fine, but you got to get those more completions up there. Run game was great. They had over 120 rushing yards, I believe, but they just had one touchdown the entire game. And the reason why they won that game was because of that defense, and they really need to figure some things out on that offense because, I mean, defense wins games. Yeah, defense wins championships. But if your offense is only going to put up one touchdown, you're relying on your defense to do everything for you. I mean, eventually you're going to play a team like the Battlehawks next week. And, I mean, if you can't get something going on offense, I don't know because you got the number one rushing offense pretty much coming into town. You got to figure some things out. You got to score some points on offense. You got to capitalize. You can't just get the ball into the red zone, to turn the ball over, get the ball right back, and then go for a field goal.
You know, we're learning a lot about these teams this year because obviously there's a lot of roster turnover. This is the first year where the Battlehawks do not have AJ McCarron as their quarterback, and you're seeing the difference. They can run almost a two-prong rushing attack with a mobile quarterback. This is the first year where, you know, a lot of new free agent turnover. This is the second year of the UFL, so it's a full roster base for the second full year, seeing free agency and all this stuff. And we're learning a lot about each team. So Nate's Renegades have explosive offense getting down the field, but they can't finish. They could not finish against Houston, which was hilarious because Houston has 3 good defenders. It's a bunch of scrappy ragtags, to quote Daniel Day-Lewis. If you can tell me the movie that's from, I'll give you I might have to buy you a beer. Anyway, Gangs in New York. Anyway, so it's a classic, Nathan. You need to go watch it. Anyway, so obviously we know the Brahmas are the worst team in the league. They're bad. Showboats with Ken Wisenhunt, much better team. Matt's defenders, I think, are I still think the 2 best teams are the Battlehawks and the Stallions. I think the Stallions with Matt Corral are a much better offense. I think Matt's defenders are that 3rd team that's just right there. And then it's about 40 feet of crap, but it's everything else. That was a reference to Moneyball. Please tell me somebody got that. Anyway, so I look at this team, this league up and down. Every team I could give you an identity off the rip. So we could start off, obviously, with Nate's Renegades. Explosive offense, has trouble in the red zone. Matt's defenders, elite defense, but offensively he's very inefficient. My Battlehawks, a buzzsaw, has some issues with tackling so far, but so far so good. Also, apparently Hakeem Butler's disappeared. Memphis Showboats, inconsistency, but now they have leadership back at coach. We'll see how that improves during the season. Underrated sneaky team. Zach may have been right there. Michigan Panthers, solid team, probably the 4th best team in the league right now. They're there. Brahmas, awful. Roughnecks, bad, but entertaining. Stallions, obviously, defending champs. Consistency, explosive. They'll get it together. Also, Deion Kane's fast as a mother. Whew. So that is my summary of every team in the UFL. It was pretty easy. But yeah, we're getting everyone's identities. So right now, with the exception of Matt's defenders upset last week, I'm 7-1 right now in the standings. Matt is 6-2. Nate is 5-3, going into week 3 next week. By the way, folks, we paid Matt out for his jersey, his Boomer Esiason jersey that he ordered. Then now, the UFL IPA 4-pack, the winner gets hopefully a new era cap of their choosing. His new era is partnered up with the UFL. I cannot speak today. So one of us is getting a hat of our team, either Defenders, Renegades, or Battlehawks. I will say this, Nate: the Renegades may have the coolest colors.
They do.
Thank God, all for that, just for not to win the dang 4-pack. Because I had to pick 2 upsets for no reason.
Yeah, I'm learning this in this league. Since there's no doubled up points for upsets, you just look like you're just trying to be edgy. Even though I did pick an upset week 1 and nailed it.
Yeah, that's you, bro.
You are one more bad week away from having to pick against the grain, you will be picking Brahmas and showboats every week.
This is going to be really funny because it's not like when Matt had that ridiculous lead, then I went on a hot. I think Nate, you and me both went on a hot streaks towards the end of the season last year, and Chris just started tanking for back-to-back seasons.
I'll never forget. I had a 16-0 first 2 weeks, and then you said something, and then
blame me, okay? Because I copied your pick the third week, and that's what killed you. It wasn't that I said something; it was because I bet your 6-pack just for shits, and it hit, and it didn't hit at all. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, Nate goes a perfect 8-0. I try to bet it; it goes down the tube. That's when you know I'm not a lucky man, or I'm lucky, but not that lucky. All right.
Well, shout out to the three of us for picking out of the 8 UFL teams. We picked 3 of them. We're all 3 are 2-0.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Well, one of them's going to lose this week, Matt. So.
Yeah. Sorry, Nate. You're losing.
Matt, I don't think that's how it works. I mean, listen, they might lose. I don't know who they have next week. They have, I believe the Renegades have. They have the Stallions. That's the Friday night game. In Birmingham.
We're going to see if the Matt Corral is really the answer. I will say he did have those 2 interceptions, but if you watch him play, so much better fluidity than Magoo. So they're going to be in good hands.
Magoo never made it past college where Corral was an NFL draft prospect. You see the refinement in his drop back, and you see his everything's there.
Who probably would have started earlier in Carolina if he didn't get that injury in his rookie year.
Also, if who's the coach for Nebraska now? He used to be the coach at Baylor.
Rule?
Matt Rule. If Matt Rule wasn't a weenie, he probably would have started. But
he was never meant for the NFL.
Matt Rule was not built for the NFL, man. It's like it was worse than Spurrier or Saban. He just needed to go back.
He had that 6-year, $90 million deal. I think it was.
I think they're still paying him, which is just
they have to be, yeah.
Yeah, they have to be. Unless David Temper, whatever his name is, decides to go and try to actually pay it off early, which I would do. If I was Matt Rule, I'd be like, all right, I want a house here, house on the Vineyard, at Montauk, put a house in Maui. I'm buying houses everywhere. I'm real estate diversifying. And by diversifying, I mean different area codes.
Mm-hmm. Who's the worst head coaching hire for your team ever that you can remember?
Chip Kelly.
That's
a tough one for you.
There's a lot to choose from, but there's 2 clear-cut ones, and I think there might be a tie. So Rich Kotite in the early 90s.
Great guys. I'm Gaze.
I'm getting there. Hold on, he's getting there. Rich Kotite in the early 90s had a 0-8 streak, which is like our worst losing streak ever. But he had it was the only reason why I didn't put Adam Gase as 1 is because he did get us that 7-9 season our first year. And the second year was so bad, but Rich Kotite, I think, won 4 games in 2 years. It was bad, and he was the Eagles coaching tree. We all thought Buddy Ryan was a genius with him. No. But no, I think it's got to be Rich Kotite, and then Adam Gase is like a 1B.
Nate, I have a nominee for you, Ben McAdoofus.
I don't know, man. They went to
we missed the playoffs with them. That's the thing.
He also was the reason Eli doesn't have a longer playing streak.
Is it Joe Judge? Is Shermer the first time?
I like Shermer. I think
I forgot about that. Oh my God, Nate, you guys have been a meme since Coughlin left.
I know. We've gone through too many coaches, man.
You know the other weird part about it is they said they wanted to get younger with Coughlin. No, they just got dumber.
Yeah,
I swear, if the second the Maras hand the reins off to their kids, the Giants going to be a dynasty again because there's so much resources in their building. But the Maras have hit their Al Davis years where I swear to God, everything's like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm waiting for you guys to draft like Jackson Dart with the 3rd pick. I'm waiting for something ridiculous.
Yeah, me too. I'm scared of that. But
you know what the worst part is? So I'll be live on the show. Obviously, I'm helping on a show. They're announcing it soon, but I'll be there. So are a couple of our other friends. I'll probably be reacting to that pick. I'm gonna try so hard to be professional. If they draft Jackson Dart, I'm like, well, the melanin deficiency's there in the Giants locker room.
But before Matt says something, 'cause I know Matt has something to say. If we get Dart at 3, I just kindly request that I don't come on the show the next time.
Okay. I'm just gonna be
Okay.
calling you to make sure you're okay.
Nate's gonna be in the background, like, please don't.
Nate, I mean,
don't hit the
listen,
button.
buddy, you
Exactly.
can go like meet Kelsey and do a free agency for your NFL team at that point.
No, I can't do that. I was thinking about the other night, and I was
mean,
like,
listen, I love your devotion to the A's. I think it's very admirable, and they're a fun team to root for. Having a fun team like Philadelphia's a second team is great too. Like, so my second team growing up was the New York Yankees. I'm from the New York area. I grew up loving A-Rod. Do not believe me. I have an A-Rod
A-Rod's good for
player
America.
bat here from Yankee Stadium when I was a kid because I loved Alex Rodriguez that much. I was a third baseman as well. I had the Nike Shox A-Rod when I was a kid. Like, I had all the gear. I had the jerseys. I haven't had a Yankees hat until freshman year of college, and then our friend Pat decided to be a tool about it, and then I burned it.
My first
It had to be a tool.
on my rack behind me, the very first one at the top's an A-Rod signed one.
Nice.
you got a nice rack, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
Right. my next when I actually get the new place, besides hanging a full size Lord of the Rings sword from on the reel, Aragorn sword from Lord of the Rings, the second thing I'm getting is either I think I'm gonna get like a Cattell Marte or like Luis Gonzalez or somebody from like a World Series bat, or try to get like an autograph bat from a Diamondback. I'm gonna start building my collection. But
That'd be cool.
one thing I want to do sports memorabilia wise, I want to give a shout out to one of the vendors of my aunt's fair that she did this weekend. So I helped her load her car afterward. She gave me a vintage 1960s Philadelphia Eagles pennant encased in glass. Yeah, it's some fancy stuff. Those of you at home can see the reflection of these goobers in the mirror, but this is good stuff, man.
No,
this is crazy. It's so old you can actually see through it in a certain spot,
awesome.
but it's so awesome. So thank you to Kim. That was the name of the vendor. She's great. If I can find out her company, I'll send you boys a link because they did have some athletic stuff. They did have some Jets. They did have some Yankees. A lot of Yankees. I tried to get Dom to come down because the fair was in Mount Kisco, so it was like right down the road. But of course, I was like, I don't feel like it. Try to get Dom on an adult baseball team with me. Nah, I don't feel like it. He's like, I'd rather just enjoy myself. I'm like, all right, whatever, buddy. Yeah. So by the way, folks, I'm playing baseball this spring.
The only thing that I was going to say before was when we were talking about the reigns of everybody's football teams is, unfortunately, the reigns of my team are 15 and 17, and they look at Madden ratings for players and they read tweets and base their decisions off of tweets. So not everybody's as fortunate as maybe some.
You know what? I am true. You know what? As much as being my team was a meme in basketball for the past decade, because of Glenn Taylor and being a doofus. Now that A-Rod fully owns a team with Mark Laurie, now we actually might have a real team again. I know we're the scrappy, lovable underdogs out in Arizona for baseball, but God, thank you for making me an Eagles fan because we got the best owner in football. Our GM's a straight-up gangster in free agency in the draft. Yeah, we may not have the best coaches and quarterbacks sometimes, but the one time we told Howie to bounce, our team became a dumpster fire. So, it's and 2 years later, we won a title. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. Listen, for all those years, like 15, like most painful years for me were 2015, 2012, and I'd say 2023 were the three most painful years, which is crazy because 2023 we made the playoffs. We started the year 8-0 or 9-0. Just the curve. I was so done with football by the end of it. 2015 was brutal. Me and Matt actually went to a Jets-Eagles game that year, but that was the last year of Chip Kelly. That was the DeMarco Murray, Sammy Floppy Sleeves, Bradford year.
Oh, yeah.
We went to worst, though, was 2012. That was the year before Chip Kelly. That was the year, I believe, Vic was hurt half the year. Then Foles came in the first time. Fun fact, Nick Foles was drafted by us, traded away, then signed back. He had a Pro Bowl season in 2013 and a near Pro Bowl start in 2014. Chip Kelly goes, nah, I want Sam Bradford. Trades him to the Rams. Foles almost retires, comes back, in an act of God and wins us a Super Bowl. Chip Kelly, the devil, could not prevent us from winning a Super Bowl.
Gets a massive deal in Jacksonville.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah. Remember that one year it was
You know what the
Brady?
crazy thing is? His first throw was a touchdown pass. Then he got hurt. Couldn't play the rest of the year.
Wasn't the playoffs one year in the conference championship was Brady, Bortles? What was the other one?
Case
It was
Keenum
Brady
and
and yeah, that was so.
You know what the crazy thing is? It was almost a Blake Bortles, Nick Foles Super Bowl because the Patriots needed a very lucky holding call on Miles Jack to win that game. And then the Eagles just curb stomped the Vikings.
Yeah. Minnesota
my
Miracle.
My father had to sit and watch that game with me. I felt so awful for him. And my grandmother, rest in peace, called the house 4 times to wish me congratulations while she was watching. And my dad was getting so mad. I'm like, Dad, I'm so sorry. Why is it always the Vikings we have to beat the piss out of? Hey, no, it's okay. Now the Chiefs and the Commanders are our new punching bags.
I don't know what winning's like anymore, honestly.
Nate,
I can't help you there.
Nobody's gonna hate you if you switch.
I can't.
You're not even okay. So listen, I'm gonna say this quickly and efficiently. If you are from an area and the team is bad, a la Matt or Kevin, for most the ball in Boston sports are bad, rarely, but anyway, or trying to think, our Kelsey for California with the Giants and the Kings. Right? I get that. You can't leave those teams. But if you are an out-of-stater, you have all the way in the world. You have the ultimate out.
No.
I'm not saying you have to root for an LA team. I mean, listen, Nate, you'd be a dope Rams fan. Chargers?
Well, he's from that area, so he probably doesn't care for the fans. He probably.
I know. I would say Nate would be a great Raiders fan.
Nate, I was about to say.
I was going to say Nate with a Mad Max jersey on or a Gino. Nate, I want you to just think about it for next month or so, because I am telling you this right now. I love you, buddy. I wish for you. I pray for you every day. But God, being a Giants fan is painful. And you're one of the few Giants fans who does not deserve any of this. I have a lot of friends who are Giants fans, and every little pin shot they hit me with when they won the 2 Super Bowls beating Brady, or when they were making the playoffs, the Eagles were like trying to catch their own tail. Yeah, every single time we whoop them, I'm like, yeah. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, man.
Is
So
Kelsey
if I could
live in
separate you
California?
from those dudes, I'd be happier.
Where's Kelsey at? Is he in Cali?
Yeah.
Kelsey is from Cali. He lives in Ohio.
Makes sense.
Why?
Allegedly. I guess because the Cowboys were the dominant team in the 90s, because he's about
No,
4
I'm
years
talking
old.
about why did he go from Cali to Ohio?
Jobs. He lived in Alabama for a little bit. I think actually no, he might be from Alabama. I'm not even sure. Kelsey's life is crazy. So is DJ's. These dudes have lived everywhere. All right. Speaking of everywhere, March Madness was everywhere. Now it's down to 2 teams. Subi shot 50% on. Technically, I shot 100 after Kelsey convinced me otherwise, because I was gonna pick Duke because Duke was gonna kill them. Sue tossed me otherwise, and then I this was great. I get back from helping my aunt at this antiques fair. Get back in the hotel room. I get to watch the entire second half of Florida versus Auburn. Awesome game. Then I get to watch the second half of Defenders versus the Showboats. And then I get to watch the second half of Duke versus Houston. I was so blessed, and it was great because I'm laying in bed on my phone watching the end of the game. I'm in a hotel room with 3 other people with 3 other beds. I'm literally trying not to scream when Duke's losing because I'm laughing. I think it's hilarious. So I think Big Cat and the boys over at Bar My Take brought this up. Duke has not been to the national championship in over 10 years. It was the 2014-2015 season. Me and Matt were sophomores. I remember this. It was 10 years ago. I just turned 20. Worst 20th birthday present ever from March Madness. They had the second team I hate the most in college sports won a national title with players I hated. Julia Okafor, Tyus Jones, etc. Anyway, They have not won since then. They went through the list of the guys they had. I was crying. If North Carolina had half of these guys, they would have about 4 or 5 more titles. This is what cracks me up. Duke gets all these NBA-ready guys, but they can never win with them. North Carolina gets a bunch of guys who are NBA role players and wins titles. This is what makes it hilarious to me. So it was like Pablo Banchero, Michael Badgley, Buster Nye, Jahlil Okafor. Then you throw in Knipple and Cooper Flagg and the guy, the tall 7'2" dude I can't pronounce. Then you throw in like there's a bunch of other players. It was like going through. It was like Jason Tatum's one of them too. And you're just going through the list. It's like, oh my god, these are all top 5 picks in the NBA. You're like, how are they this bad? It's because they are cursed. They won that last title in 2015. That was Coach K's last one. They handed off to John Shire, who I watched play in college as a middle schooler. That makes me feel old. Okay, at least Hubert Davis played when I was like in diapers. So at least I don't feel that old. No, John Shire makes me feel old. So I look at Duke, right? First of all, Cooper Flagg, he's such a talented kid. I don't know if it's the Duke jersey or the fact that he plays with like his hair down over his forehead or whatever, but he looks so punchable on the court. I don't know what to tell you. He looks like the guy who I want one of the Morris brothers to shove to the ground a few times and just bully, because he looked like, so did Hansborough was like this too. It's like a white boy being good in college basketball trait where they just look like they have the most annoying demeanor. That being said, Cooper Flagg is one of the most talented players I've ever seen. But watching Duke choke away that title while Houston was fighting like the devil to get back in it, man. It was a crazy ending to the game. Florida-Auburn was kind of just what we expected. Florida wore them out. I said it was like Florida wears teams out. No matter how much Subi was trying to tell me, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, they're going to keep talking for Auburn. I'd love to see Kelsey get his boys there. My neighbor, Ronnie, who is a legit Gator, like, freak when it comes to sports, like, literally, funny side story, Labor Day, you know what happened Labor Day when Miami kicked Florida's head in? I show up to a barbecue. I think I got my Ray Lewis Miami jersey on, Miami hat, whatever. I walk in, and there's Ronnie about to leave wearing his Gators gear, shaking his head. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I wasn't even talking smack at that point. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. That hurts. But we got to get to, obviously, the draft stuff in about 5 minutes. But thoughts on the weekend, fellas? We have the game tonight. Obviously, I want your picks. I will give us the betting lines in a few minutes. But Nate, Matt, thoughts on the game on Saturday?
I thought I enjoyed the game. So like you said, Florida wore Auburn out, and I was rooting for Auburn. I mostly just for Kelsey's sake. I just wanted to see them there. I know he was happy with whatever happened because he really wasn't expecting them to get that far. But I would have loved to have seen Auburn in there. But I think Florida was a better team, and Florida just ran the clock out. Just knew how to just tire out their opponents and just stay sharp. Not going to be upset with not seeing Duke in. Not gonna be upset about it. Not gonna go cry about it. I love a good underdog, and I was really rooting for Houston. I just loved the fight and the power and the passion that team had, and just the way that they clawed back in that game. So I'm pumped. What am I trying to say? I'm hyped for the game tonight, and we will see how it goes. Fortunately, it's got to be at like 9 o'clock at night, and I got to go to work tomorrow, and I got to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see how long that lasts. But just before Nate goes, quick shout out on the women's side to UConn women's that just took down Dawn Staley in South Carolina by almost 30 points. So shout out to
covered. I was able to bet on them in New York. I put them minus 17. They covered, baby. Nice 10 spot, easy right there.
Yeah, listen, they showed both times they played South Carolina, and the first game was like 87-59, and the next game was in the 80s to the 50s again. So they've got their number. But shout out to the women, shout out to Paige Beckers and Gino Oriama.
So for all of you wondering, Jared, why would you ever root for UConn? UConn women's basketball is great. I've met some of these players before. I got to work a tournament back, and I've showed you guys the badge. UConn women, UConn football, always will root for. That's the home state. That's great. UConn men's fans are the worst. Not you, Matt. You're great. I'm talking about UConn men's fans. Like, oh, you're from. I'm like, I was told my entire childhood I had to root for these weenies in navy and white with the stupid jerseys. I understood the Okafor Gordon team because that was a cool team, but the rest of them just had annoying players. I liked Kemba. That was it. Kemba and Jeremy Lamb, who were Facebook friends, by the way. Really cool. That team was kind of fun. But like the Shabazz team, I could care less. The two back-to-backs, I was like, please put me out of my misery. So the Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen teams of the 90s, those were fun. That's when we were like an underdog. I could care less. Once Jim Calhoun was gone, I could care. Kevin Ollie was weird. And Danny Hurley annoys the hell out of me, or Billy Hurley, or stupid Hurley, whatever the hell his name is. I don't like the guy. I think he's annoying. He's a wannabe Nick Sirianni. At least Sirianni wins, then only complains when he wins.
Thank God we didn't hire him. Lakers, because they. Oh, sorry.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot they tried to hire him.
My apologies.
I like the JJ Redick hire for you guys, by the way.
I do too. I love Redick.
I can't remember. We'd have to go back to the tape if I liked it at first.
I don't think I was a fan about it, but it looks like it's paying out in the long run.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go back to it. Obviously, I didn't mean to interrupt you boys. Nate, obviously you gave Matt, you gave yours. Nate, what are your thoughts on Saturday's game?
I just want to focus more on the women's side, man. I mean, look, South Carolina had a good season. Don State is one of the best coaches in women's college basketball.
Bird gang, baby.
But it's just like heading to this tournament, offensively, they didn't really have the talent to really go far. I mean, defensively, their defense and their late game execution late in the tournament was like the reason why they got to the championship in the first place. But UConn, man, you're talking about Beckers, Fudd, the freshman Strong too, who had 22 points in the semifinal and played well in the final as well. UConn's offensive firepower was OP in the national championship. So shout out to them for sure. For winning the whole thing, and Becker's getting her chip before she goes off to the WNBA. So
I'm so happy to see her get her chip, man. 5 years of struggling away, and she finally got it.
Yeah, so she can go to the pros with the chip, and then
I would love her to go to the Fever. That'd be great. Like I want to see her and CC in the same backcourt. That's just brutal, man.
It'd be great to see her go to the Connecticut Suns too. Just stay.
That'd be great too. Okay, you know how you make the WNBA more popular? Put the likable players in likable situations. Like, dude, nobody was gonna watch the Indiana Fever. Now they got Caitlin Clark, a Midwestern girl playing for a Midwestern team.
Yeah, the UConn Maniacs will travel to Mohegan for Paige Beckers too.
Hell. Dude, there was once a buddy of mine actually asked if I want to go see the Sun versus the Fever, and usually when I get offered WNBA tickets, I'm like, how much do they cost you? Can we sell them? I was like, get to Caitlin Clark play live. I'm kind of with it. It was the tickets were too expensive. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's worth the fact I got to drive to Mohegan, which I get it. Connecticut's a small state, but you got to understand. Driving to Mohegan is painful. There's no direct way to get there from my house because I live off of the corridor that connects Boston to New York City, not the I-95 corridor, which is like the shore. That's a more pleasant drive, sort of. I-84 is a nightmare, and then you got to take Route 2 and you go through Hartford. It's just it's a thing. So you know what? I would love to see Beckers go to the Sun because that'll make the team more obviously a lot more popular. Just keep her away from Chicago, please. I don't need to see more Angel Reese in the headlines. I cannot wait for her to be out of the WNBA in 5 years. Or like
she's not. It's just she's like she'll be in the league for a while. It's just she can't score.
Dude, she's Rick James, man. She's got a brick house.
She averages 20 and 15 and like.
The TikTok guy who literally got the Angel Reese deal from McDonald's and literally pulled out of the bag 3 greasy bricks. I was laughing.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
I could not stop laughing. I was just like, this is great. And she was the first player to get ejected from that off-season 3-on-3 league. That had me crying.
it's just even if the players sat out for more money, I'm sorry, but like we're not going to watch. Like not like we're not going to watch, but like
publicists tell them what to
increase.
say, or are they just all it's an echo chamber? Because that when she said that statement, listen, I would love for the women to get paid more, but that means more people got to watch. Hell, I watched a WNBA game last year. I'm proud of myself. It was Fever versus the Sun. I watched it on TV. I was proud of myself. I'm like, yes, I'm being progressive for once.
And now Jared's like, I'm good for the year.
Yep, that was what I said. I'm like, all right, they're bullying Caitlin Clark, and I want to yell some things. I can't do that, so I'm going to stop.
With the WNBA, if a game is on, I'm scrolling through TV trying to find something. Yeah, I'll watch it. Like I watched a handful of games last year, but I didn't watch them to like completion. Like I didn't watch from start to finish. But like, you know, it's just like when they were saying like, oh, what are people going to do if our games aren't on? I'm sorry, but I'm probably going to watch Family Guy or something because that's probably what was on.
I'll probably go play Xbox, like Fallout, or you know, I'll play. Maybe might even download MLB The Show. Nope, just kidding. Won't do that.
Not that great.
I might go play the Masters game. By the way, fun as hell. The EA Sports Masters game. You get to create your own golfer, play every golf course all over the country, all the big ones. And me and my buddy Pat, former co-host, we're literally just playing 18 holes against each other. It was hilarious. We're having a blast. Or I might play more CFP 25 because honestly, me and my buddies have the Dynasty and it's fun. That's I can think of 1,000 things I'd rather do than I could do. We could have almost done the game, but it would have been too mean. Things we could do, not the WNBA season's canceled. That's too bad. We can't do that. We'll get canceled.
I was going to say, speaking of when you mentioned MLB The Show, did we mention Vlad, or is that later on the list?
I was going to do Vlad now, and then we're going to hit it into – we're going to pick our team, we're going to pick our games, talk Vlad, and then get in the draft stuff because I want to get out of here within the next 25, 30 minutes.
Got you.
Those long podcasts take forever for the software to go through, and obviously we never really get the listens that late, so – because you people got ADHD or something. I don't know. I do too. So listeners, we love you. Don't worry about it. All right. Picks for tonight. I'm going Florida. I have to. I'm sticking with I'm sticking with my pick from literally like November. Walter Clayton Jr. is unbelievable. Big fan of his game.
So -1. This is pretty much a pick 'em in a sense. I'm going to take – I mean, when I say the underdog, obviously I mean the very slight of the underdog when you look at the spread. But I'm going to take Houston here. I'm always down to root for the non-favorite team, but I just like the heart Houston has. And the Houston's always in the conversation to get to that Final Four, and they can just never get it done. And now they're here in the grandest stage of college basketball championships. And I hope they get it done. I like Florida too. It's just, they knocked my Huskies out. They've also just torpedoed my LSU Tigers season last year in football. So just for other personal reasons, I would like to go to Houston. First time you'll ever hear me say I'm taking Houston. That will never be repeated in a sentence ever again.
There you go. I said Florida. Nate, you deciding fact you say Cougs?
I like me some Cougars.
Hey, yo.
The older the better. I'm just playing.
I respect
What is this Brucey from The Longest Yard? When you go gray, never go away.
If I see Nate walking down the street with like an 82-year-old, I'm like, he gotta
she gotta be paying you, dog.
Yeah,
sugar mama type stuff, man.
I better see you in some Gucci slides. That's all I gotta say.
Gucci flip flop,
like a Louis V belt and everything. Some Prada sunglasses, the whole 9 yards.
Nate, you better have some Versace wheels.
I got.
I put a little quick parlay in just now. Fanatics, Gators money line. Walter Clayton 4+ threes. LJ Cryer 18+ points. Walter Clayton Jr. 22+ points and Florida money line. So,
Nate, I had FA this
week.
Quick,
easy.
What's that, Matt?
I had FA this week. FA.
Let's go! How is it?
I'm actually gonna get that. I might be getting that this weekend, man. I'm excited.
See, I've had it many. My wife loves like the Vietnamese and like the Asian cuisine. She loves the ramen, the pho. So we get it all the time, but we specifically for the first time in months we had it this weekend, and I was just thinking like, oh man, the amount of things I could go
Ramen.
text a group chat right now.
Oh,
But I think
man,
I
I
have
would've
to
been
rank
hyped.
ramen above. Newly a ramen
Okay.
fan. I used to be a huge pho guy, still am,
Okay.
but I like ramen because I guess it's more acceptable to add the egg in the ramen and not in the pho, even though I
That's
do it
true.
anyway.
That's why I like pho. I'm not a big egg person.
Oh
I
man,
love
do
fried
too,
eggs. Like
but-
listen, like my lunch today was 2 chicken cutlets, 3 cracked fried eggs, and a little Monterey Jack cheese. Gas. But I can't do the boiled egg. The boiled egg, no.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can't do it.
really. It's not like I don't know. They don't like. It has a little bit of a run on the inside. It's not like completely hard
Well,
boiled.
no, like a runny fried egg is like my favorite thing in the world. So like I'm okay with that.
Well, this is like a hard boiled egg, except it's not completely cooked through. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. It's like
Love
soy.
y'all, man. Y'all had
It's
fun,
like-
man.
Nate's like they're cultured now.
Hey, I'm gonna go try to get pho this week, okay? Because I'm gonna be out. In
Let's
that
go.
direction. There's
Hey,
a
if
pho
you're-
restaurant by my gym. I'll go there on the way out.
If for some reason you ever visit Connecticut, I don't know why you would. Besides us, like if there's any reason you ever come
reason
here,
to get out here, even
I'm
before
going
you
to
go.
take you. I'm going to take you to Metcha Noodle Bar. It's like the best place you can get fun in like the New Haven County, in my opinion.
Bet. Let's do it.
As a fellow member of New
excited.
Haven County, I will say that because there's literally the only place I can find pho is a actual place it's called pho.
Yeah.
And
Don't go to
I didn't
anywhere
know
that's
it was
just my
pronounced
heart
pho,
pho.
so I pronounced it the other way. And the guy I was in the car with one of my coworkers, Jared, that's how you pronounce it. I'm like, really? It's not how you say it? And he goes, no.
Sorry, I call it
was
pho.
pronouncing, what is it? It's FOX, right? Or is it FOA or FO? What is it? How you
How to
pronounce
spell
it?
it?
How you spell it?
PHO.
PHO. Oh, I was
Yeah.
just saying it, but I was saying with an accent, so it sounded like another word, just to be a jackass.
Oh yeah. There's some interesting, fun place names out there for sure. Very creative, to say the least.
I'll pick the games. We gotta talk baseball quick before we get into the draft cap. So Vladdy got paid. The Blue Jays actually paying people. Nate, I'm sorry, I got a little overzealous. 14 years, $500 million. I didn't touch it that time.
Sorry, my laptop got off. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So Vladdy, I was one of the best power hitters in baseball. I was kind of depressed because I was kind of hoping they let him walk because the Diamondbacks only have Naylor on a 1-year deal. I was like, Vladdy to Arizona. I'm like, that'd be like the great because I loved his dad. His dad was one of my favorite players of all time. So like, I would love to have Vladdy Jr. because also you'd love that ballpark.
It's
Okay though.
honestly, it could have been 3 ways between Yankees, Mets, and Diamondbacks for trying to get him because Goldschmidt's on a 1 year. You can opt out of Alonso's contract after this year if they wanted to. Then you got Naylor. I would have loved to have seen that happen.
Nate, I would have Nate, but like let's be honest, brother, you guys got a lot bigger holes to fill.
They would have had to have thrown
Sold out their sold their firstborn child, a couple kidneys.
I think the only thing right now is with the
The
A's,
team,
besides dishing out the money, they have to market like, hey, like for like 2 years you got to play in a 12,000 fan base capacity stadium. But
They'd be like, hey, Vladdy, listen, we can't give you a bigger contract. Could we give you the team? You own the A's.
But you are the manager. And
You're the manager, you're the owner, and you're the first baseman.
So I'll be honest. I like the deal for him. I like it for him. I like it for the Blue Jays. I mean, they maintain one of their best prospects and just the best ball player they have currently on that team. 14 years, $500 million is a huge amount of money. But when you break it down, which crazy, Juan Soto makes 765. This guy makes 500 million. Both make more than Aaron Judge, and I think it's kind of crazy. But I know it's different positions. The age is a big
early.
factor.
That's the lay of the land. Corbin Carroll only makes X amount. So, listen, if it followed the Philadelphia Eagles method, you sign them early, you don't have to pay them a lot.
If you break up the $500 million over 14 years, if I'm correct, I believe that's about $35.7 million per year. And if you look at the MLB's top 50 list of highest earning players per year, that roughly puts him in the 12th spot. So he's not even in the top 10 with this $35.7
Great deal for
million.
both sides because he's not a top 10 player, but he's,
But also, I mean, if you look at his stats, he's got a career 287 batting average. He's got 511 RBIs. He's got 160 home runs. He's a 4-time All-Star. He's a Gold Glover. He's a 2-time Silver Slugger. And he's 26 years old and entering his 7th season in the league. He's played 6 full seasons so far. So, I mean, I would say very good career stats. I think even him being the 12th highest, I just think this is a good contract for him and for the team. So shout out to Vlad Jr. for getting paid. He's going to be in Toronto till he's 40 right now. So shout out to them.
Must be nice. 500 million.
I know.
Lucky duck.
Can I get one of those?
I'm going to raise my kid to play baseball.
Yeah, me too.
Kid's going to be 6 months old.
Listen, he's like, yeah, my friend's playing football. Your friends are idiots.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to hoop. You an idiot. Shut up. Go play ball.
Yeah, he is. Oh man, they're going to be in the batting cages at 8 months old.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
My kids will be playing t-ball. I'm going to show them all. Listen, and I'm going to say this as a fair thing. Baseball, when you're a kid, is not the most enjoyable sport, but if you can fall in love with the game like I did, and then actually be good, sky's the limit. I was okay, and I found my love of football because football got my aggression out. But now that I'm older, like, I honestly enjoy playing MLB The Show more than I enjoy playing Madden. I get too stressed out watching an Eagles game or a Hurricanes game. When I'm watching the Diamondbacks, yeah, I get stressed out, but like I'm enjoying it. And I chose spring baseball, playing organized baseball over playing organized flag football. Then again, flag football is like football light to me, so I could care less. So yeah, dude, it's, you know what, and it's there. It's there, and Hector said go Cougs, by the way. So we can't post Instagram comments on our chat, which stinks. But blame StreamYard. All right, we're doing the draft rankings. Who's ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready. We're starting with corner, safety.
We're gonna start with corners.
Shiloh Sanders, number 1.
I thought you said what?
I didn't even know he was a corner. I thought he was a safety.
I'm just playing. No, obviously,
he's in the draft, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's going to go undrafted, I think they were saying.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get off kicking first. Trey Amos out of Ole Miss is my honorable mention. Here's the thing. Really nasty press coverage, really aggressive at the point of attack, really good at the plant drive speed and explosiveness, the athleticism coming off of his base. Great spatial awareness, and he ran a sub 4.4. That's all the good stuff. He's there as a man coverage corner, can cover against vertical routes and great ball skills. The things that gets to, well, I'm noticing on every cornerback in this draft, the first thing everyone's saying is they're too handsy. A lot of holding calls, a lot of defensive pass interference. Amos's tackling technique deteriorates against bigger opponents. And I've noticed this in his zone coverage. He kind of sits down, and then he's kind of just there. He's kind of not – he's flat-footed is the best way to put it. So that's why Amos is my number 6. I was doing a coin flip between him and Morrison. So number 5, Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. 6 foot, buck 93, Phoenix, Arizona. He's a junior. Played on that elite Notre Dame defense last year. Things I love off the rip. 1, dude, this boy can run, and he now can run. His processing speed on the move is elite. I do love the fact that this gentleman uses leverage, especially against the leverage doesn't change with the size of the receiver. You'll see that against other receivers in this top 5. Sometimes they lose their ability to kind of control the route. Plays with controlled aggression, which is good, especially at a position where you can affect an entire drive with 1 penalty, as Keely Ringo. Great tackler, extremely physical. I kind of like the ability as kind of a run-first attacking corner that can cover. Pat Tillman, a little faster. Pat Tillman's kind of like my vibe, I guess, with that guys who can cover against the run. The problems, though, the hip surgery against the guy who needs tight, loose hips and needs to be able to run kind of scares me. And the other thing I don't like is he's got a Asante Samuel syndrome. He likes to jump routes, and he's not fast enough to catch up. He's fast, but not that fast. Like, you need like 4.2 speed to get. I noticed twice, because I watched 5 Notre Dame games this year. He got lucky because the safety was coming down or the ball was in his direction, but he'd bite on a double move or he'd bite guessing on the route, and then he'd get beat. And it became a problem, especially against Notre Dame. But solid cornerback. I think number 5 is a great spot for him. Siobhan Revel Jr. out of ECU. We got a pirate up here, boys. Arg. Anyway, big zone corner. Rich Sherman. Brandon Brown. That's what it gave me the vibes of. He's a raw athlete. He's not like super like out of control, but like, listen, runs a sub 4.4. I'm gonna run with that to the bank. Unofficial. There's no. He ran it. It's an estimated. It's draft sites. They all kind of have a consensus. Runs around the 4.4 range. Anyway, 6'3", 193. Great on the zone. The only thing I don't like, injury history. Every checkbox on every site said the ACL, the ACL, the ACL. Guys, he had an ACL injury. Did you know that? Like, I didn't know that either. I do like him, though, for a team that likes to run a cover 3 style scheme. It might work better. I'm not saying Philadelphia might be the word, because they run cover 3. They run a lot of Tampa 2 cover 3. He might fit their zone. Now we get to the fun guys. Jahdae Barron out of Texas, another zone guy, but his is a little interesting. I wrote elite route recognition, elite straight line and stop and start speed. Great form tackle, and he's very physical at the press point, which is all great. The one thing I don't like, he has a tendency to be a little grabby, and he's got tight hips. The death sentence word. Everyone knows with cornerbacks, there's one thing you never want to hear in your pro prospect file. Ask Justin Gilbert. Even Keely Ringo. He fell from being a top 5 pick to in the 4th round because he had tight hips. Never want to see that. But I think Jahdae Barron kind of has a really interesting role to play. I think if he goes to a team, once again, I think this is a guy who'd fit well and is the only I can't think of our defense coordinator's name right now. Vic Fangio's scheme in Philadelphia, where it's a very zone-based offense. Man coverage, he's average at best. Now we get to the number 2. Travis Hunter. I only put him at 2 because of 3 things. He's lean. He's very stiff when he runs. Breaking in and out of cuts. And he can get bullied by big receivers. I've watched it multiple times over the 2 years he was at Colorado. If he has to go against the guy, let's say he goes to the Giants, Nate. I want him to cover A.J. Brown. Because you know why?
Bet.
A.J.'s going to beat the snot out of him. Bet. A.J. beat the hell out of Marshawn Lattimore, who's a far superior corner. Look what he did to Emmanuel Forbes, who's very similar weight-wise to Travis Hunter. Bullied him.
Yeah, true.
He put him in the quarterback trash can. But what he does have is what makes him a top 3 pick if he plays both receiver and corner. I wrote receiver skills in parentheses next to these 2. Can mirror routes. For a cornerback, that's unheard of, but he can mirror the route, which means a lot more interception opportunities. And when he gets that, elite ball skills, guys, he's got some of the best hands in the damn draft. So you gotta say that. He's a smart tackler. He knows he's undersized, but he brings you down smart most of the time. And the elite conditioning is what I got to give this kid the most credit for. He's not a partier. The biggest thing he does, him and his best friend who's got like 300,000 followers on TikTok, and they just go fishing. I love that. I love that he is not one of these dudes. He's like, I don't want to party, I want to play ball and fish. Great. Because he's stupid level conditioning. I don't know if it's going to last for the next 10 years. I have a feeling he'll play more receiver and less corner. But good for him. I love it. Travis Hunter, number 2. Number 1, Will Johnson. The Will Johnson slander stops here. I'm done with it. This kid gives me some Quinyon Mitchell mixed with Christian Gonzalez vibes. just does everything right. At 6'2", runs a 4.38 40. I believe that was either pro day or unofficial. Long and fluid. There's not a lot of jerkiness or stiffness to him. Everything moves clean, as I'm doing like the Elvis hip shake right now. Elite zone coverage IQ. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nothing drives me crazier on defensive film when I see a cornerback start to bite on our double move when he's got a drag route coming underneath, a slant route coming across his face, or tries to bite on the slant and there's a post coming up behind him. It drives me nuts. This kid is very good at understanding the progressions and the communication. He is going to be the best corner in this class. Doesn't bite on double moves. That is my favorite thing I wrote down. He stays so patient when tracking the route. And it's really cool to see because he waits until the guy commits. If you don't see the receiver commit, he doesn't commit. Now, that doesn't mean occasionally he gives up a couple short routes, but he doesn't get burnt. And the two things I don't like, take a guess, guys. What's the first thing they talk about? Gets grabby. Gets grabby. No, this isn't Kenny Pickett. He gets grabby. Once again. And also, this is the one that kind of gets me a little jumpy. He doesn't bite on double moves, but he does peek in the backfield trying to get interceptions. So, like, he's watching the cornerback's eyes instead of watching the receiver. But other than that, Will Johnson's a superior corner in this draft class. Matthew.
Alrighty, we'll start with my honorable mention. I have a different guy. I got Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. He's 5'11", 183. He's a small corner as well, but he's fast. 4.28 40. Solid change of direction, footwork, solid zone corner, solid quarterback reader. Runs well when mirroring his man. Has great speed and instant burst in his. And in his last 20 games, he has 6 interceptions and 3 return for touchdowns. Some cons, though, he's got a little inconsistency in locating the football down the field, and he might struggle covering stronger wideouts. Needs serious run support improvement, and he's got a below-average tackler, in my opinion. So I got him as my honorable mention. Number 5, we're going to go with Siobhan Revelle out of East Carolina, 6'2", 194. He's a big, fast, and long cornerback prospect. He's got a desirable blend of length and top-end speed. Solid combo route reader, great vision and zone coverage. He's got good stride and acceleration, and he's willing to get down and dirty and make the tackles in the field. Some cons I got, footwork and timing can sometimes slip away from him in press. Average body control, relies a lot of watching players, maybe face guards, and actually keeping the eye on the ball. And he needs some improvement with his tackling. He's recovering from a torn ACL back in September. I got, for number 3, I got Jedi Barron out of Texas. He's 5'11", 194. He's got a 4.39 40. He had an impressive 2024 campaign. He's got great route recognition, strength, and footwork. He's a solid corner in zone. He ran receivers routes. He ran receivers routes in 2024 as if he was the offensive player. Like, he just mirrors these guys in his route coverage. Again, he's great recognition. He's a bigger sized nickel cornerback. He swarms opponents after the catch, and he's a solid open field tackler. Some cons, average burst when beaten by his man. I think he needs to run through and finish plays more. Short arms, which is a trend with every single position, and at least 2 of the top 5 short arms, could impact production. Tackle technique is slightly inconsistent. I think he needs to be a little less grabby. So I got number 3, I have Jedi Barron. Number 2, where we differ, I have Will Johnson at 2. He is 6'2", 194 out of Michigan. Cornerback prospect that has really good production, fluidity, body control, and instincts on plays and change of direction. He can compete in man coverage, and he's got good pre-play recognition. He's a solid corner at reading the passer and anticipating routes before they form, and he's got solid speed and running downhill to tackle catchers. I guess some cons. He did have that season-ending turf toe in October. He's recovering from that. He's got average speed or burst when he gets beat on plays, and I think he needs to be a little more aggressive corner and a little less grabby. And then number 1, obviously, that leaves Travis Hunter. He's 6 feet, 188. He's an exciting, versatile, multi-positional player. He could be the Ohtani of the NFL in regards to multi-positional player. He seems like he's a naturally instinctive player who makes big plays at big times. I mean, I think this kid has everything it takes to play on the big stage of them all and talent-wise in the NFL. He had a very good cornerback performance in 2023, and I think he made progressions in 2024 when improving his game. He's got great coverage in man and in zone and an incredible burst. He's got great range as a defender. And then being a wide receiver, I think that really gives him an advantage in the NFL at the cornerback position because he's a solid route recognition on defense, and he just mirrors his guys. I mean, he just knows the routes sometimes that are going to form before they form. He mirrors his guys. He's got great recognition, and he's got the great hands from being a receiver as well. So I think that gives him an edge at that position because he plays the offensive position that he covers. Some cons, obviously, he's got an undersized frame at both spots. He could benefit from maybe adding a little more muscle just to help him out with his tackling with the bigger opponents. He could get bullied by bigger receivers, like Jared was saying. I think he's a better corner than receiver, but I think he's going to be great at both positions. I think he'll probably should play corner more, but we'll see what they do. I would say compared to other bigger schools, I don't think he really faced as many maybe NFL-ready talent as some other guys, but I think he just needs to prove that he can compete against higher weight class opponents. But I like this kid a lot, and I think, like I said, him having the wide receiver experience, I think that just kind of gives him that advantage at corner. So I got Travis Hunter at 1.
All right.
Yeah, great rankings, guys. I won't go too much into mine. I'll say that for my show and everything, and I know we have to get to safeties too. Just real quick, Ravel, he's a guy that was a top 15 pick before he suffered that injury last year, which may drop his stock a little bit. But he has the height, he has the size, athleticism to succeed at the next level when healthy. So and plus I think he tested well so far during workouts in the combine, if I remember correctly. So he's someone to monitor for sure. And then I like Morrison from Notre Dame. Faced pretty good competition during his time at South Bend. 26 starts throughout his Notre Dame career. Great processing speed, great leverage against press. His frame is a bit below average, I guess, for a guy on the outside.
You say he's lanky.
Lanky, a little lanky, yeah. And plus, he had a recent hip surgery as well, which kind of creates some durability concerns. But he's a guy that honestly, he's a scheme versatile guy. I've seen comparisons to like a Marlon Humphrey type of guy when he was early during his time in Baltimore, because his technique, competitive toughness as well. Those two things stand out when it comes to Morrison. So he's someone I like, honestly, and can be a contributor immediately with the potential to be a Pro Bowler with some time. So just want to point him out real quick. But overall, yeah, Travis Hunter number 1 for me. And yeah, that's all I got for corners.
Nice. All right, so we're going to go to safeties now. We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go solo screen so these boys don't have to be staring at the screen while they're checking their rankings. So I'm going to get big screen for this. All right. When we're talking safeties, my honorable mention is Kevin Winston Jr. out of Ohio State. Now, he's interesting. He's kind of like a Malcolm Jenkins type where it's nickel and safety, which I kind of like, especially with the versatility, especially with defenses. Now you have to kind of have a multiple look. Things I love about him, elite run defender. I like seeing that, especially as your first notch as a defensive player in the secondary. Because a lot of these safeties now, all they want to do is be ball hawks. If you have the ability to come downhill, make a tackle, especially with the athleticism and the resurgency of running backs, you want to have a guy in the back end who can make the play. I hate this term, but it gets put in a lot in these rankings, so I put it in as well. It's called control violence, highlight real level collisions, hard hits. He's definitely an enforcer, which is cool to see. He was definitely the enforcer of this Penn State defense, along with obviously Abdul Carter. We are going into now. This is where it gets weird. I think it honestly leans more of him as a run defender than a coverage guy. Good length and frame. Tackling technique is great. Great zone instincts, which is good, especially if you're going to run over the top and kind of play center field. And like I said before, he is an enforcer. Kind of reminds me of both Eagles safeties a little bit, CJ and Blankenship, where they're kind of more of the zone enforcer kind of ability to help on the run. Man coverage skills are not good. That's why I don't mention. Especially with multiple coverages, you need to be able to kind of have both. he's not the best at interceptions, ball product, like going after the football. His ball skills aren't great, and he misses with his transitions. I guess the best way to put it, like everything looks very tight and offbeat because he has very long legs, and it sounds really nitpicky. But when you need a guy to be able to change direction 3 or 4 times, having obscenely long legs when you have to make 3 or 4 cuts on one play can be a little bit of a nightmare. But I think, honestly, that's kind of like nitpicking at this point. I just saw it brought multiple times while I was doing my research, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe there's something there. I saw he does in and out of cuts look a little weak. But I think he's going to be an overall good player. He's going to be kind of a late round steal. Sebastian Castro out of Iowa. Iowa pumping out the DBs. Riley Moss, Cooper DeJean, and now Sebastian Castro. A little on the slower side, 4.59. I'll admit that off the rip. But once again, another one of these enforcer safeties. It's something that's been lacking in the league for years, having the guy be able to come downhill, make a stick, and kind of set the tone on a defensive team. Very linebacker-esque in the run support, where a lot of these guys maybe tackle like defensive backs. This dude will attack the running backs and quarterbacks running the football as almost a bit like a small size linebacker, which is great to see. Very football IQ heavy, has a lot of a veteran savvy kind of feel to how he plays zone coverage, run, play recognition, everything. He's one of those guys. They call it like nose for the ball. I hate that term. It drives me nuts because it makes no sense. But this dude always is around the football. The best way I can say it is it always seems how like a guy like CJGJ for the Texans and when he was on the Eagles when we won the Super Bowl and helped contribute in the Lions before that, it always seems like he's around the football to make a play. That is a great quality in a safety. So give me that for Mr. Castro. Couple things I don't like. Obviously, the long speed. He's not that explosive. He's going to definitely be a guy who's either in the box or hangs back. He's 25. He's a little older. That could be an issue going forward. And he's a little – the arm length is an issue. I know. I'd want to bring it up, but the catch radius ain't great for him. But I think if you are a team who needs a run-first safety in the box – who has like an elite center field guy behind him, I think he's a perfect fit. I'm going to butcher the hell out of this, but Andrew Makuba out of Texas is my number 4. A little quicker, runs a sub 4.5. It's great. 5'11", 186. A little undersized for my liking as safety. Kind of looks like a corner to me. He is a Zimbabwe, born and raised, but hell, made his way to the NFL. Good for him. Proud of him. Explosive athlete, elite speed, change of direction, all the things you like. I mean, he has the cornerback build. He might as well have the quarterback speed. Ability to process what's going on in the play is awesome. I love to see on this kid's tape, and he popped up on Barron's tape a lot, too. We talked about Jahdae Barron about 10 minutes ago. You see a lot of this dude on it. You see a lot of Makuba, too, where he's kind of falling Barron behind, or he's the one making the running play. He's up in there. He's on the play. He always seems to be around the ball. Takes very good angles and has high football IQ and great ball skills. He does everything right to make up for his lack of size. This is what I love about him. And does not hesitate. That is my favorite part of this kid's game. When he goes, he goes. There's no stop. He hits the gas. A couple things I don't like. Obviously, the lean frame I mentioned before. He's kind of an ankle diver on his tackles, so you can kind of see a lot of the time he'll go in low, and sometimes if it's a guy like, I'm going to say it, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, a lot of these guys with a lot of power, or even guys who are a little quicker, maybe like a Jahmyr Gibbs, it's going to be a problem. But I will say, if you can pick up his tackling form, it's not going to be the bad of an issue. And obviously the size lacks upper body strength. Now, we're going into the big boys. Now, Watts out of Notre Dame. Once again, another Notre Dame, Texas. This is another guy who popped out on their rankings. A little of a bigger player at 6'2", 204. Speed, top end speed wasn't there, at least in his 40 time, but his game speed is much better. Plays faster than his 40 time, which is great. Recognition is off the charts. Always seems to kind of get what's going on before the play is snapped. His closing burst is ridiculous. I don't know if he lights a fuse in his ass before he takes off at the tackler, but it's incredible watching him just it's 3 strides and he makes contact. It's unbelievable. Just mean and nasty in coverage, man. Like, unbelievable. Really kind of physically attacks the guys and is always kind of around the ball. He's going to make every route you run miserable. A couple things I don't like, obviously. Can be over aggressive on pursuing plays. A lot of cutbacks get nailed on him. A little inconsistent man coverage is something that's going to develop. A safety is not the biggest deal, but if you run multiple schemes, obviously like at Kansas City, you kind of want to have that ability. And then relies a lot on his closing speed and his size to make his tackles, and he lacks a little technique, which you can see a lot of like arm or shoulder tackles instead of like the form hip drive and put to the ground. So, but that's it. I mean, he's kind of the big bully of this class for safeties. Now we get to my 2 favorites. Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Oh, my God. Either of these two fall to Philly at 32, I'm doing a cartwheel. And I might even put it on the internet. So, Malachi Starks. I wasn't a fan of his 40 time, but he plays faster. The 4.5, I wrote it an X around it, but I don't care really that much about it because he plays faster than a 4.5. Awesome ball skills. Holy crap, man. Like, it just seems like anytime there's a ball thrown downfield against Georgia, you always see Starks kind of just flying through the air, like kind of making a play, swatting people down. It's awesome. Shows advanced usage against blockers in the box. I love the fact this dude can get up in somebody's grill and just disengage, get around, make the tackle. And finally, his verified on-field speed is a 4.35. This is why 40 times are bullshit. I don't like them. They're stupid. It's track speed. And obviously his his hands are amazing for a safety. Things they don't like, obviously, I don't like either. He can get a little overly aggressive downhill, so he commits and he goes, and sometimes he misses. And will sometimes trust his recovery speed too much in man coverage, so you'll see he'll kind of come down, get beat, and then try to recover on the straight ahead, and he'll get smoked. And that's the unfortunate thing about it. I think he relies too much on his athleticism in the pros, trying to cover a guy like a Tyreek Hill or a Devontae Smith or one of these guys who really top-end speed just flies. Jamar Chase, another one of them. You kind of have to really be careful. But I do like what this kid brings to the table. And number one, part of that loaded South Carolina defense this year, Nick Emanawari. I got it. Let's go. Now, he's my favorite. 6'3", 220. Unofficial 4.38 40. That boy was moving at his size. Why do I like this kid? Freakish size speed combo is the first thing I wrote. I slashed it. I said, this is the best part about him. When he hits people, oh my God. It gives me Taylor Mays at USC kind of throwback vibes. Now, I hope he translates better, obviously, than Taylor Mays did, but still. Great tackler in the open field. His tackling radius is off the charts. He's able to stretch, move, lean. He's not very stiff about it. He processes quick. He gets down the field, and he's an absolute dog in the box. And the ball skills are there. On tape, you see him. He stands out. And one little cool thing, and the same thing with Starks, both are great special teams guys. I love to see it. All right. Things I don't like. A little overly aggressive. He can sometimes, and this is kind of where I kind of wrote the Sidney Jones comparison, where comes down at Mach 1 and just misses somebody. 100 miles an hour all the time, has no ability to throttle down. And sometimes, he's one of these longer, leaner, longer safeties maybe he can hopefully address like Cam Chancellor did once he got to the pros. Can kind of get caught in double moves. And sometimes he's not the best to change the direction in straight line speed. So he's fast as hell in a straight line, covering, taking the long route. But when he's got to stop and start, you see him have to restart the engine every time he gets off a bounds. I'm not a big fan. Maddie, I think he's my number one safety. Maddie, I want to hear yours.
All right. Well, starting with my honorable mention, I've got R.J. Mickens as safety, 6 feet, 199, 449. Oh man, I forgot where he was. Is he Carolina or is he Clemson? I forgot where he was at. I had him down, but he's got impressive instincts. And he's got a desirable blend of size and length. He's got good pre-snap recognition and post-snap instincts. I think he's a confident safety when he's in zone coverage, and I think he's solid force as a tackler. Impressive change of direction, defender, and he utilizes his long wingspan to finish plays. Some cons. I got some doubts about his top-end speed. I think he needs an improvement in timing for man coverage success, and I think he may take a season or two for him to develop and transition into NFL schemes. But R.J. Mickens, to show him some love, is my honorable mention right there. Going to my 5, I got Andrew Makuba. Thank you for pronouncing that first. Now I know what to say. Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas, 5'11", 186. He had a sub-4.5 40, 4-year starter with solid play instincts and awareness, solid ball protection or production as well. Good route awareness and above average burst. I think he's an efficient safety and coverage and just a player that loves to be all over the field. But he needs to clean up some things in run support. I think he comes in too hot and misses his tackles. I think he's a little undersized, average speed on deep routes, and I think he needs to improve some downhill run stopping discipline and needs a little more improvement on his open field tackles. Number 4, I've got Kevin Winston Jr. So interesting prospect here. We all know he's got 2 season-ending injuries so far in his career. But out of Penn State, 6'2", 215, talented safety. Like I said, also facing a second season-ending injury in 2024. He's got NFL size and traits and has a long wingspan. He can split runs and attack his blockers, and he rarely misses his tackles. He's got the frame and length to cover all tight ends. He's got good timing to eliminate catch chances as well, and contested catches as well. Cons, like I said, 2 season-ending injuries in his career. I think he's got below-average instincts and play recognition, and he needs to improve with his footwork and transitions on plays. A little bit of a prospect just because of his injuries, but I think if all plays well and he stays healthy, I think he could be a big-time safety. Number 3 out of Notre Dame, I have Xavier Watts, 6 feet, 204. Safety that's versatile and has ball skills to make plays from multiple alignments. I think he's got solid instincts and range and over the top. He plays with excellent anticipation. He's got tremendous ball skills. Rarely a penalized safety. He's rarely penalized, and he's got rapid response to the run. He's got good pre-snap recognition, and he's got experience at both safety and slot corner in college. Some cons, I think he could be a little stiff with his transitions. I think he's got a little bit of below-average body control, and I think he lacks discipline and patience against the run. So those are my so far: Mickens, Makuba, Winston, Watts. Now I'm going to my top 2. Pretty much we all should probably have the same top 2, maybe different spots. Potentially we don't got the same number 1 because I got Nick Amenwari from South Carolina at number 2, 6'3", 220, big safety. 4.3840 at a 220-pound safety. 20 on the bench, so he's strong and fast. He's a fantastic safety in size, and he's got rare speed for his frame. I think he's got an elite blend of skills with speed and versatility and can match up with top tight ends. Do not underestimate his range on the field. That man is everywhere. He's got great wingspan. He's a solo tackle machine, and I think he's solid at tackling down wide run runners. Some cons, I think he's a little inconsistent in games with urgency. He's got a little bit of tight hips, and I think he's got average route anticipation instincts. Just needs a boost in urgency in games. Sometimes I just think the urgency isn't always there from him. I just think he's a little boost to that in his games that will really take him to the next level. But just you want a big safety, you want a strong safety, you want a fast safety. This is the man you want. Number 1, I got Malachi Starks. That is my number 1 safety in this draft. 6'1", 197 out of Georgia, 4'5", 40. 3-year starter, plenty of collegiate experience at a high level. In my opinion, I think he's the number one safety in this draft. He's a versatile safety in size and athleticism. He's great at winning contested catches and has tremendous ball skills and adequate speed. I think he's got great football IQ. I think he's a great deep route safety, and he sneaks around players and really maneuvers himself towards the action. He fights off. He just fights off his guys and just gets to the action. He's not afraid to get his nose deep in there. Pause. Anyways, very good. Mirrors opponents, and when in position, the runner has no chance. And then some cons I have. I think he's got average vision, slows down when catching contact, does sometimes surrender some long touchdowns, a lot of violations in coverage this year, and I think sometimes he might lose connection with his opponents in man. But that is my top 5. I got Starks over Amawari, but other than that, I mean, I don't think you're really missing either of those two safeties. I just got Starks at 1.
Hallelujah. Yeah, like I said, I won't go into mine too much. I have Starks over Amawari. Ransom was a solid safety, as my honorable mention, back at Ohio State. Winston, I know the injuries you mentioned, Matt, those played a role a little bit into your rankings as well. I think
Nate, just for record, I have Makuba and Castro flipped. It's okay, but it's okay. It's okay, buddy.
Hey, we talked about that in the pregame show too.
I know we did. Yeah. Well, I knew it. I knew it. But yeah, I'll fix that later on. But yeah, just real quick, Ransom, honorable mention. Winston, injuries aside, honestly, when healthy, he's a better prospect than Watts, and I love Watts from the Irish as well. But yeah, I won't go into mine too much. I'll save that for my show. But great rankings, and that'll do it, right, boss? That's it. No more positions. Next week is the mock draft.
Next week's our mock draft, baby.
Next week, Nate has his kickers and punters.
Right. Yes.
And I will probably sleep during that because it's such a crapshoot. Nobody cares.
You know what's going to be crazy is that he could very well just name us his top 5 kickers, and all of a sudden we'll see somebody get picked around 3, and we're like, who? And Nate's like, that was my number 1. He went number 2. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, hey, the Niners did it.
How'd that work out?
Did it. Well, Oakland.
How'd that work out in Tampa?
Well, it worked out in Oakland, but just maybe not in the first round.
Janikowski's a Polak, so that's easy.
Yeah. He could kick. That's a kicker.
I want you to look up the stories of what he used to do pregame, just drinking beers and stuff and just nailing field goals. He was old school football.
I just imagine the vodka shots with the pickle.
What the fuck?
I heard it was beer. That was his. Beer and a cigarette and just rip a kick.
When I hear like Eastern European, I just think like they're probably ripping vodka shots and just down it with the pickle juice, and slicing some shots off the 20-yard line.
There you go. All right. So, ladies and gents, obviously we will have our mock draft next Monday. We will obviously talk like UFL preview before we get into a few other things, but that'll take probably about 70% of our show next Monday. Stay tuned. Thursday's show might be at a slightly different time. We'll kind of figure it out as we go. We'll obviously keep you guys posted. If you don't hear anything, it'll still be the usual 7 o'clock Thursday show. If not, we'll let you know earlier. Other than that, hope you have a great week. Shout out to our sponsors, candips.com, promo code BLAVE 20 for 20% off. SeatGeek, promo code BLAVE Sports for $20 off your first initial purchase. If you want to go to cool games like me and Dom just went to at the Yankees-Diamondbacks game, listen, great seats, good pricing, nothing, no hidden craziness. It's right there. And also, Righteous Felon, official sponsor of hashtag Subinos and Nate's Penalty Box. We will see you guys back on Thursday for the Korner Booth pregame in rounds 2 and the final round of our Korner Booth playoff bracketology. Also, we should know who the seedings are or close to it for the NBA at that point. All right. Have a good one, boys. Peace.